On today's show, the NBA is smart for avoiding the Mavs versus Lakers matchup on opening night and Christmas Day. I'll tell you why in today's Locked On Mavs. Stop it! Stop! The number one pick will go to the Dallas Mavericks. Cooper Flagg will fly in Dallas.
Dogs, all of us, all five.
You are Locked On Mavs, your daily Dallas Mavericks podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Still can't leave.
Your team every day.
I'm gonna get a city like that.
And welcome. You are locked on to the Dallas Mavericks, your team every day. My name is Nick Angstadt, media member covering the Mavs for 10 years. Thanks for being an everyday and making Locked On Mavs your first listen every day. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use that code Locked On NBA for $20 off your first purchase. Joining me, as always, my co-host, media member covering the Mavs for 10 years, right alongside me, the Christmas Day Druid, the one more thinking. What you got for me, Isaac Harris?
I have a really important question to ask you right at the top. And I'm going to bet that you don't know what I'm talking about, but you got to pick a side. Are you Team Jeremiah or Team Conrad?
Is this Love Island?
No, it's not.
Okay, I don't know. You said
It's
I don't know what it is.
Summer
Right?
I turned pretty.
That's the thing I wouldn't. Is this a Bachelor thing?
Stop.
What?
Which team? Which team are you on? Jeremiah or Conrad?
Jeremiah. I don't know.
Oh, dang you. All right. Team
What?
Conrad, let's go.
I don't know what it is.
If y'all know what I'm talking about, leave it in the comment below, like you know what we're talking about. This is
What he's talking about, because I don't know.
This is the Amazon show, The Summer I Turned Pretty. It's There's a big team debate. Like pro teams are now asking players, with their social medias and stuff, and that's been funny because a lot of them are like, we don't know. Delta used it on their Instagram today about both teams. So there you go. I'm Team Conrad. You're Team Jeremiah.
The summer the Mavs may have turned pretty is this one, potentially, because the Mavs got a Christmas Day game. They are not on opening night, but they got a pretty marquee matchup for the next night to open up. And so we'll talk about that and break down the Mavs schedule. Then we also want to talk about the Mavs rotation. I think Jason Kidd only really plays 9 guys in a rotation historically. And that leaves one player out. We'll talk about who gets left out, who stays in, and all that. We'll get into that today. But let's start here. The Mavs are getting a Christmas Day game. According to Shams Charania, he reports that the Christmas Day games will be as follows. Cleveland at the Knicks, the only 2 East teams on Christmas Day. San Antonio Spurs at the Thunder, Rockets at the Lakers, Minnesota Timberwolves at the Nuggets, and Dallas Mavericks at the Golden State Warriors. Isaac Harris, will you join me on Christmas Day away from your children in San Francisco on Christmas Day?
Oh, that's a negative. Sorry. I'm the wrong person to ask. I don't go to the Mavs game whenever it's on Christmas Day at home either. I don't know, with the kids and stuff, I just can't. Christmas Day is like one of those days, like we open gifts. I watch the game. I love all of it. But
you guys open gifts on Christmas?
Yeah, we're a Christmas morning fam,
That's a wild take by you to like spend time with your family on Christmas over like a job. Like, do you
celebrate the OG Jesus' birthday, and
the OG isn't the OG God?
Well, yeah, 3 in 1, Nick.
Jeremiah, Conrad, or Jesus? Answer. But the Mavs get a Christmas Day game, and then opening night is going to be Rockets at Thunder, which is hilarious. We talked about that on Locked On NBA Game Night yesterday. But KD's gonna have to watch the ring ceremony and the banner raising for the
awesome.
Thunder. Golden State at the Lakers for opening night. So the Mavericks will not be on opening night, and the Mavericks also notably don't play the Lakers on Christmas Day or opening night, which a lot of people thought about and had like penciled in that was going to happen. And to me, I think that's smart because those matchups already have the juice. People are going to tune in on those matchups. First of all, it's Lakers. Second of all, it's Cooper Flagg. It's the Anthony Davis rematch. It's Luka, obviously, rematch and all that. Those already have juice. You already have built-in hype for those games. Every single time those teams play, people are going to be tuned in and people are going to be interested because of all the storylines that have to do with that. Why waste one of those on nights that already have like some built-in hype? Opening night, Mavs fans get excited for the beginning of the season. Want to see Cooper Flagg and his debut. That's going to be massive. Christmas Day, people watch it anyway, even though the NFL is trying to infringe on that. But I'm glad that they didn't do that because I think that now it spreads out some of the hype around a couple of games instead of just going, all right, let's go all in on opening night. Let's go all in on these Christmas Day games.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, well, one, we've already gotten it, right? Like we already got them playing each other post trade
twice.
So now we haven't gotten the Mavs Lakers post summer bod, Luka. You know what I was thinking too? I was thinking about this the other day. For the like capstone or like the cherry on top for Luka's like summer transformation, he should switch to a single digit number.
Because 7? Just go down to 7.
Well, I don't know if 7 is retired in Laker land or not, but it's just like that would, because it feels like single numbers would like make him look even slimmer and everybody will lose their minds over it. Is it retired?
No. 8 is obviously.
7 is open for the Lakers.
You ready for the retired numbers?
No, I don't want to know anything about the Lakers retired numbers.
No, can I just read them to you?
Oh God.
21, 16, 24, 8, 10, 34, 31, 20, 73, 99, 17, 44, 34, 89, 19, 11, 25, 32. These are not all retired, but they're all that have been honored in some way or shape or form, which is
Luka's 100% going to go to number 7 at some point. But
LeBron,
no, I mean
LeBron went 23-6 too, so he has that to like.
That's true. I was a little surprised. I mean, I'll say that I felt like one of those dates was going to happen, whether it was opening day or Christmas. Like if you told me, hey, the Mavs are going to play the Warriors or Lakers on Christmas Day, I would have been like, oh, they're playing the Lakers. Like I wouldn't have picked the Warriors over them just because it feels like, the NBA tries to lean into the drama stuff. And especially on Christmas Day too, because to your point, like the NFL came out, NFL's always going to do better numbers than them. And if they're coming after that day again and wanting to take it from the NBA again, a way for the or for the NBA to fight back, and even though it's like a little, yeah.
I think Cowboys are playing on Christmas Day.
Yeah, so you got Cowboys, Commanders at what?
Lions,
noon?
Vikings, Broncos,
and then you have Mavs, Warriors that night. So could setting up for could be a really fun day for Dallas fans, or kind of tough, and you're just looking at what you got for Christmas. So, but no, I'm a little surprised. It's not the end of the world. To your point, whenever they play them, I think the first time they're set to play is in November, probably in that cup game on an ugly court, but it'll be fun.
Maybe they won't be ugly this year.
I hope not. You liked them.
I like some of them, yeah.
Solid.
I didn't like the gray Mavs one that much.
All right, no, I love that one. Here's a question I had though. When I see the schedule stuff, one, I'm kind of like old man, get off my lawn with schedule stuff. I don't like care as much about schedule hot takes. It is my favorite time of the year when you predict wins and losses when the schedule comes out. I love it.
Stay tuned to Locked On Mavs, where we will predict all 82 games.
It is my favorite. It's going to happen. It's going to happen this week, guys. There's going to be some content creator. And it's like, you know what? I'm telling you, in March, they're going to lose 13 games. And it's like, what are you doing? Like, we can't.
The schedule came out the 17th last year. So could be this
okay.
week. Could be the end of this week.
Could be this week. But my thing with Christmas Day, I do care about Christmas Day because I think it tells you how the NBA views other teams and players around the league. Typically on Christmas Day, you get your faces of the league. And I thought it was fascinating that as soon as it was like, hey, Dallas isn't playing the Lakers, because then you still make the point of like, oh, well, Luka's going against his old team, and that's why Dallas is there. But as soon as they said Dallas is going against Golden State, then I was like, holy crap, the Cooper Flagg effect. Like, they got this Christmas game because of Cooper Flagg. Like, Kyrie's going to be out, so the fact that they're still on Christmas Day, because you go across and look at the rest of the people. And the Knicks, that's New York. They're always going to be a face. And Jalen Brunson, they just had a playoff for him. Then you get Wemby. You get OKC, who won the title. You have the Rockets with Kevin Durant. You have the Lakers. Yes. You have the Mavericks. You have the Warriors and Steph Curry. You have Jokic. You have Anthony Edwards. The only face that I'm looking at up there, obviously Tatum's not playing, is Giannis. And I think if you're the Bucks, you have a pretty strong case of being like, so wait, y'all chose Cooper Flagg over Giannis, like for to play on Christmas Day. I think the Bucks.
I would take their supporting. I would take the Mavs supporting cast over the Bucks. Like
no, I would too. But I'm just saying, it's like typically on Christmas you get your faces of the league, and it feels like they opted for the Cavs over the Knicks. I mean, the Pacers made the finals and they're not on it, but they don't have Halliburton and stuff. So, it did surprise me a little bit that the Mavericks are on Christmas Day still without Luka, and Kyrie's going to be out, and it's like. I guarantee it's more because of Cooper Flagg than it is Anthony Davis. And I think that's fascinating.
The Mavs got a Christmas Day game on merit. Then the merit is Cooper Flagg. that he is interesting. People will want to see him.
And does that mean Cooper Flagg is already one of the faces of the league?
I think the NBA is smart to put a Cooper Flagg on Christmas Day and also Victor Wembanyama on Christmas Day. These are the next stars that are coming up. Yep. Anthony Edwards is already kind of in that, but he's also a next star too. It means 24 or so. Like I think it's smart for them to do that. They have every single level of star covered on Christmas Day. LeBron, KD, and Steph, great. Luka, SGA, Donovan Mitchell, Brunson, maybe Anthony Edwards, and then Cooper Flagg and Wemby and Dylan Harper as like the next stars.
Well, you missed Jokic, but yeah.
Oh, Jokic, yeah, obviously. He would have been with that Luka, the now stars.
And Boston would have been in there without the Tatum injury, and that would have made sense, but. Yeah, I thought it was fascinating. I think it's really cool.
I think it is too. Coming up, let's talk about the Mavs rotation. I think Jason Kidd will only play 9 players in the rotation. That leaves somebody out. A couple players out, maybe. Only one spot is left. We'll tell you who gets it coming up. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code LOCKEDONNBA. If you haven't yet, you're losing money. $20 off wherever you go. Game Time. They have all kinds of different stuff. They have stuff for concerts too. All kinds of things. You got your.
Give me some of that Jonas Brothers.
Oh, you want an SOS?
That's what my wife is wanting right now.
It's the bottom line. It's true. They gave it all for you. Now their heart is in 2, and I can't find the other half. But maybe you can find the other half at the concert on Game Time. You don't know. You've never looked more confused. You don't know that song.
You just knew that song off the top of your head? What the crap?
I have a weird thing with song lyrics, but I remember them really well. And at Game Time, you can maybe go see the Jonas Brothers on there. Oh man, I'm gonna get some hate for that. I'll take a guess. We're gonna find concert tickets and show tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use that code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off. Download Game Time. It played on Disney Channel all the time when we were growing up.
Yeah, that helps your case.
Last minute tickets, lowest prices, guaranteed.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
Thanks for hanging out. Listen, Locked On Mavs, being part of the show, part of the Raccoon Squad, listening every single day. We appreciate each and every one of you for checking out the show and listening. How impressed were you? Impressed, or were you just like scared that I just rattled that off?
I went from impressed to like, oh, that's odd, really fast, but. I just didn't know, Jonas Brothers was in your Spotify rap.
It's just running through all the time.
Those tickets are expensive, so if anybody has any hookups, let me know. My wife is asking me every week to go.
Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code.
Yeah, it still costs money.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So I was going through the Mavs rotation the other day, and I wanted to find out how many players in a rotation Jason Kidd historically plays. Because we hear this every year going into this part of the offseason when we're starting to predict who's in the rotation, who's starting, who's not, who's the odd man out, all those kind of big questions. And so I went through StatHead, it's the basketball reference site, and I went through, all right, how many players on average did Jason Kidd play in a game, play 10 minutes or more? I think that's a rotation player. About 10, played 10 or more minutes, right? You're playing 8, 9. Like, I don't think you're necessarily a rotation player, and 5, 4, 3. Like, I just don't think that you're really in it consistently.
Yeah. Sorry, Hardy.
So here's the numbers from 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025. 8.9 players, 8.7 players, 8.9 players, and 9.0 players. Legitimately, Jason Kidd plays 9 rotation players. And that's with seasons with injuries. Think about 2023, where Brunson had left, and then they bring in Kyrie and all that. Think about 2025. Last year, obviously, with all the crazy injuries, it still ended up being in the aggregate 9 players on average. And they did have a couple games where they only had 7 players, so maybe that helped bring that number down. But that was the highest one, and it was just 9.0. So to me, I look at that and say, all right, if he's going to play 9 players, these are the guys that he's going to play. And tell me if you think any of these are wrong. Anthony Davis.
That's probably right.
Cooper Flagg. Klay Thompson. D'Angelo Russell. Dereck Lively. PJ Washington. Daniel Gafford. Naji Marshall. You thought about Naji Marshall for a second.
I mean, I just paused just a little bit.
He's definitely going to play to me. I think he's in that. 8 rotate. That's 8 players right there. If he's playing 9, and this is obviously assuming health, except for Kyrie. This doesn't even include Kyrie yet.
Yeah.
If he plays 9 players, that leaves one of Caleb Martin, Max Christie, Dante Exum, Brandon Williams is going to get that spot.
What about the other 3 players?
Jaden Hardy, Omax Prosper, Dwight Powell. One of those players is probably going to be gone by the time. And it could be Brandon Williams because he's non-guaranteed. But one of those, so between those 7 players, one of them is going to be gone. One of them is a rotation player. The other ones are just kind of sitting around waiting for an injury. What does this lineup need? If you had to pick, what does it need out of the Caleb Martin, Max Christie, Dante Exum, Brandon Williams bunch? What does this 9-man rotation need?
I mean, it should be Brandon Williams.
Really?
Yeah, it should be. Because I mean, one of my biggest worries about this whole team is their creation and who's going to run some offense. Because outside of D'Lo, like, you're not trying to create and get into the paint with Klay. Like, you're not doing that with like PJ and Gafford. Like, these are guys that are not like creators, playmakers that's going to break somebody down off the dribble and, hey, touch the paint and, get the ball out of there. So, and I get it. Hey, Cooper Flagg, they're going to give the ball to him and everything. I think it's a tall ask to say, hey, it's just D'Lo and Cooper to do this thing. Because, yeah, and I mean, Naji, I get it. I get he played, backup point and stuff last year. But Brandon Williams, in a weird way, kind of has something that none of the other guys ahead of him have either.
Yeah.
Like, as far as he's the quickest with the ball in his hands, and he's a guy that can like break him. And I'm not like saying that Brandon Williams is some long-term starting piece or anything. I like him a lot, but it's more of, I don't think anybody else, like, that's not really D'Lo's game right now. As far as like, hey, just ISO it out and just, it's that fast pace, get into the paint, kick out and all this stuff, keep the ball going. That's why I say it should be Brandon Williams, but my guess would be Max Christie.
Max Christie would be my guess too. I'm not 100% sold on Brandon Williams yet. We saw him play.
It's more no. It's more of who else can break down a defense and like make a play happen. It's not about being like, I just don't. Who else do you think it is? Hardy?
I think that the Mavs offense will be different than what we've seen in the past. I don't think that they will be as reliant on the one single player breaking down a defense type.
No,
offense.
but even if you want to keep the ball moving, somebody's got to like create a mismatch. Somebody's got to get into the paint. Somebody's got to like
getting it,
do something.
Like attacking, getting into the paint is definitely a thing that I think they struggle with. And I think you're right that Brandon Williams is the one out of those that could do something. Max Christie showed a little bit of that last year, and I'm curious to see where he takes that this year, because they may ask him to do that more. But yeah, if it's just Cooper Flagg and D'Angelo Russell that are attacking off the dribble and creating that kind of mismatch, then you're struggling on offense. Like, you're struggling to create. You can create mismatches all over the place on other parts of the floor, right? Like, size wise, they're going to create all kinds of mismatches. But who's going to throw those entry passes too? Are we just asking all those guys to do that? Yeah, I'm.
Like, because I can mark it down right now. What is this? August 10th, later on at night, 9:48 p.m. Central Time. I guarantee you we're going to reach some spots at the beginning of the season to where the offense is stagnant. And everybody's like, they're struggling to like create separation, to break somebody down at the dribble. And it's kind of like, hey, they're forcing entry passes. It's kind of like slow. It's kind of choppy. It's a little bit like, Orlando at times. And then all of a sudden there's the kind of like the old JJ Barea thing back in the day, break glass in case of emergency. All of a sudden they put Brandon Williams in and he's going to look like an Energizer bunny. And he's just going to be running everywhere with the ball super fast, breaking down, keeping the ball going and all this stuff. And it's going to feel a lot different. Just mark my words right now. I guarantee something like that's going to happen if he's on the roster.
Well, they did that last year and that happened where they broke in case of emergency and he came out and we were like, oh, he's got some stuff there. Like he definitely showed some things last year. He played, like 18, 20 games in the rotation, which is one of the reasons why I'm not like 100% sold that he should be getting a rotation spot from the beginning. But yeah, no, I'm with you that they need that. That's definitely what this lineup needs. But who is going to actually get the spot? Let's talk about that. And I'll tell you who I think my answer is coming up. All right, Isaac, we're talking about the Mavs rotation. Jason Kidd, historically, like on average, has only played 9 players in the rotation. And yes, I understand that injuries will happen. I'm already accounting for one with Kyrie Irving, right? Like I'm already accounting for one of those. But if he plays 9 players, then it's AD, Flagg, Klay, D'Lo, Dereck Lively, PJ Washington, Gafford, Naji Marshall, and you get one more player after that. You think it should be Brandon Williams? I think it should, and I hope that it becomes Max Christie, because I think he embodies the best version of both the 3 and the D that the Mavericks need, and a little bit of creation off the dribble that they need. And I think between D'Angelo Russell, Cooper Flagg, Max Christie, Anthony Davis, and maybe a little Klay Thompson and maybe a little PJ, like I think you can create enough offense to make it work, because I think the defense will be that good. And I think the defense difference between a Max Christie and a Brandon Williams is also that different, to where you don't need as much offense if your defense is going to be that solid. They did also invest in Caleb Martin, though. Like they traded, they traded Quinn Grimes and a pick. They ended up getting one back, but they traded that and brought in Caleb Martin. And I don't think Nico Harrison's going to want to admit defeat on that one so quick.
Well, I mentioned this the other day, and it's like how much of the Caleb Martin deal. I don't know. I haven't asked around enough to know like what's their opinion on Caleb Martin. But how much of the Caleb Martin deal was more of, hey, we just want to get something for Grimes because we're not going to pay him and we don't want to do this dance in the offseason?
Yeah.
And was it more of, hey, we like Caleb Martin, so we're going to target Caleb Martin? Or was this more of, hey, Philly's just interested in taking Grimes and we'll take Martin back. Like, we think he'll fit our system and stuff. Because that changes for me where he's at in the rotation. If it's more of that, they just wanted an asset back because of like, hey, we're going to lose Grimes anyway, then I'm not inclined to put Martin in the rotation. If they targeted him and wanted him to come in there, then it's like, all right, well, who's going to get more minutes next year, Max Christie or Caleb Martin? And I don't know.
I've also been clear that I think Caleb Martin is the best perimeter defender, like point of attack defender on this roster still. And if you go through like what they need on offense, they need a lot of things, but on defense, they still do need like that point of attack guy. Because right now you're asking Cooper Flagg, Klay Thompson, D'Angelo Russell, and PJ Washington, and maybe Naji Marshall to do that. And I'm not feeling super confident in any of those at a really high level. But Caleb Martin, I think, could come in and do that. Now all of a sudden, your defense can be extremely elite with the 5 guys they can put on the floor with him there. And so I think that's his chance, is if they're going to go all in on defense and be like, all right, well, we're just going to dominate defensively and just get enough offense between AD, Flagg, D'Lo creating a little bit, Klay getting some shots, and our mismatches in the post.
Yeah, how the minutes shake out between Klay, Naji, Max Christie, Caleb Martin is something I'm fascinated by, because none of those guys you're asking to play the 4 for the most part. I mean, Naji, no.
Klay did last year a little bit.
Yeah, let me take that out for a
Naji
second.
did too.
Because Naji, like I think Naji, I would like him at that like 3 or 4 spot. And that's why I like hesitated just a little bit, because if you think Naji's a 4, then it's like, well, how many players are above him? All right, Cooper, PJ, AD. I mean, there's 3 right there that probably naturally play the 4. So then it's like, all right, Naji's not going to play the 4 over any of those guys. So he's probably relegated to a 3 spot. Well, then he's fighting Max Christie and Caleb Martin. Okay, well, so who's Like, can Naji guard opposing point guard? Is he your point of attack guy on defense? And if you think Max Christie is that guy, is Max Christie, is it really a conversation of Max Christie versus Naji Marshall of who's getting the more minutes? I don't know. I don't know. We got to see somebody become like a point of attack defender. And
I think we said that last year too, and waited for Naji to emerge as that guy. And I don't think he emerged defensively as elite as I thought he would going through this season. And so I think they're still going to wait. They have way better candidates this year than they did last year.
Yeah.
To find somebody to be that. But man, while you're talking through this though, your shooting is just struggling. And that's why I think Max Christie is going to be that guy and will be that guy.
That's true. I mean, they need, when you look at when you made the trade,
I didn't do it.
It's when the trade happened.
Okay. Thank you. It happened to me. I didn't
obviously, there's so many different layers to that trade. And Anthony Davis was the big one in return, AD, Luka, and all the stuff. But in as much as you want to believe this, however you want to believe it or not, when you talk to people around the Mavs, then it was like, hey, Christie was in this deal too. Like, there's a reason why Max Christie was in this deal. They really liked him. And there was signs of him being a good young player in LA at times. So it was like, hey, they wanted him in the deal. You were going to say something?
And with the Mavs too, he had that great stretch, that 10-game stretch when they first traded for him, where we were like, oh my gosh, what if he takes a leap? And all of a sudden he's like a starter level player. And he was a starter level player for the Lakers too.
Yeah. So, I mean, heck, remember the graphic? Him and
the SGA one.
No, him and Austin Reeves, the new dynamic,
the rising stars.
The rising
Bleacher
stars.
Report had this graphic, the Lakers rising star duo, and it was Austin Reeves and Max Christie. This was like what, a year and a half ago.
Yeah, I made fun of it, and dang, we probably should have gotten both of them in that deal.
I know. Except for Reeves, we did a story on Game Night tonight. Reeves might get $30 million a year. His next deal.
Oof.
Yeah.
Okay. Get that change, Cobblepot. So for Max Christie, they really need Max Christie to be like this guy. Like, they really need him to be this 3-and-D guy of guard the opposing point guard, hit the threes, and be this guy of like, it should be at some point you would want to have the conversation, Klay or Max Christie in the starting lineup.
Yeah.
Because Max Christie is like played so well. His defense is so good. He's knocking down the threes, and you're like, dang, this is going to be a hard decision. This is the Mavs version of the Pods versus Klay and Golden State. And you're like, all right, it's enough to bench this, 43% 3-point shooter in Klay that's a legend. Right now, that's just not the spot. Like, he didn't show. He kind of dropped off at the end of last year, and then if I was kind of worried about him, I was like, oh,
Christie.
Yeah, like what is he? Like, I don't know. I wasn't encouraged by the end of last year.
At the end of last year, his play was not super encouraging, but I kind of gave him a pass because of everything that happened in that.
True. Yeah.
Think about his answer when he got traded. Is like, they talked about this was the biggest trade in sports history, and I'm honored to be part of it. And I was like, that is eventually going to get to your head where you start thinking about how big this moment is and like what they need from you and how crazy it was. AD only played 9 games for the Mavs. Like, I gotta keep reminding.
Yeah, I mean, I hope people give us a pass for the end of season pods.
Our pods were great.
What wasn't there a point in the off season this summer that he was at like a camp or somebody, and a kid asked him, "Hey, what was your favorite moment of your career?" And he said, "Getting traded to the Mavs." Yeah, I thought that was a cool moment. Good job.
That is a cool moment.
Good job, Max.
Great camp answer. Is all this just moot though? And is Jason Kidd just going to play Dante Exum?
He very well could. Right? Yeah. Because you trust him, right? Like, if it was Rick Carlisle, I would have said hands down it's Exum.
Yeah.
Because Rick likes to trust his guys, but I love having Exum on the team. So, and it's just somebody asked the other day in our text insider program, Hardy, is it time to give up? Somebody sent me a comment the other day on YouTube of this like firm defender in Jaden Hardy. Yeah, I don't know how you could be confident in anything different than in Jaden Hardy right now after the past 3 seasons.
He's just also now buried behind all these guys. Like the 4 guys we've mentioned before have overtaken him. Maybe that's unfair with Brandon Williams because he hasn't shown as much for as long. But I think from what we saw at the end of last year, that Jason Kidd would put Brandon Williams over Jaden Hardy in a rotation, and that's the conversation we're having. Yeah,
and I would bet that the Mavericks have to shed somebody before they can bring in Dante Exum. Like we've been talking about Exum this whole time. It's not official because they don't have the roster spot. We've been assuming the whole time it's either Hardy, it's either Omax, or whatever it is. And I would assume Dallas's their preference would be for someone to take Jaden Hardy, who's under has a few more years on the contract, $6 million a year. Omax is cheaper, younger, that wing position. But I don't know, and we'll see. I don't know when they're gonna make room for Exum. Has to be before media day, so we'll see.
We'll see. They still got to do something. So we're sitting here waiting, and we'll be here 5 days a week after the offseason talking about the things that they do until then. So let us know in the comment section on YouTube or on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, at Locked On Mavs, who you think gets that last rotation spot between Caleb Martin, Max Christie, Dante Exum, Brandon Williams. Let us know what you guys think. We'll be back tomorrow answering your questions. Guys, thanks so much for listening to Locked On Mavs.
Peace out.
Explain yourself. Sorry.
Boom.
Team Conrad.